Speaking of things passing in the night, here's more AEW news.
If I'll tell you one thing. There's some things, every once in a while, you pass some things in the night, and they're still there when you wake up the next morning. You're thinking, why the did that happen?
Well, on that topic, Jim, there's been some controversy.
As a matter of fact, when I was a kid and I went to school, I tried out for the football team.
No,
the
you
first
didn't.
I did. The first day of practice, I showed up, and the coach held a football in his hand, and he held it in front of me. He said, "Son, do you think you can pass this?" I said, "Hell, coach, I don't even think I can swallow it."
All right, well, Jim, our next topic, our next questions, I can't even speak. I don't even know where to go from here. Jim, we've received a series of questions about something that's become somewhat controversial, and I know we briefly talked about it during the AEW Dynamite review, but have you been following the chatter about the Thunder Rosa Marina Shafir match?
I just saw this on Twitter yesterday. I guess yesterday afternoon or whatever. People are saying that it was Thunder Rosa's fault that match was football bat ugly, bowling shoe ugly, scrambled eggs.
And again, when we did the review, you put all of the blame on Marina Shafir, which is one of the reasons why this story stuck out to me so much. Someone named Eric, who apparently is a former Ring of Honor wrestler, Eric Stevens.
I saw it, Eric Stevens. Eric Stevens was in Ring of Honor when I went there in 2009, and I thought he was a young man then. I thought he was very good. Adam Pearce was high on him, and he I'm trying to think, he was a bigger kid, and then he dropped some weight and got in good shape or whatever the fuck. But I mean, he was a nice kid, and I can't remember. I don't even know that we finished him up. Something happened, but he went away. Maybe we couldn't afford to fly him in from wherever he was. I think he was coming from Florida. I don't fucking know. I think maybe he quit the business for quite a while. And then suddenly, I saw, that Eric Stevens, former Ring of Honor wrestler, says Thunder Rosa was sandbagging. Well, I've seen it. And there was a quote from him. This is the most blatant example I've ever seen. If you've got the quotes, go ahead.
I've got the quotes on Twitter, and there's an interesting fact about these quotes. I'm not sure if you saw, but he tweeted out after that match, "It's been a long time since I've seen a match where somebody so obviously tried to make themselves look better than their opponent by sandbagging and no-selling. But I just saw a perfect example of it on Dynamite. It might just look like a bad match to the untrained eye, but it's pretty clear when somebody doesn't want to play ball. Which sucks, because it just makes you and your opponent look bad." The tweet, I believe the first tweet, was liked by both Britt Baker and Marina Shafir.
Oh, so there is controversy in the locker room.
And then if you remember, there was an incident a long while back before she was let go with Ivelisse and Thunder Rosa, where people said Ivelisse wasn't cooperating with Thunder Rosa.
Remember we saw she was just sitting there and combing her hair in a hold and shit.
Well, Ivelisse has tweeted out, "I truly wholeheartedly appreciate all the recent Ivelisse was right statements. Hits the soul in ways you could never imagine." So again, the fact that Britt Baker and the opponent in the match, Marina Shafir, liked that tweet from a wrestler who you have to think has friends in the locker room and knows what he's talking about with some of these people.
Well, hold on here, cowboy. I think he's got one friend in the locker room. I think he's friends with Marina Shafir and or Roderick Strong, because Eric knows Roddy from Ring of Honor, and they all live in Florida, or at least believe that's where Eric used to live. But I'm sorry, and apologies to Eric Stevens, but no, dude, no, to use a phrase that the young kids do, dude, no, it wasn't sand. Hey, remember I mentioned with Marina Shafir being married or involved with Roderick Strong, how in the world is she not any smoother than that? And this is not the first time we have seen a Marina Shafir match where we said, ooh, what's going on there? I know she was a shooter. She was part of the 4 Horsewomen with Ronda Rousey, etc. But she's not a smooth pro wrestler, at least in the times that we've seen her. And with one of the better girls in the ring or on the roster with AEW, Thunder Rosa, But as you'll recall, I pointed out, Rosa's trying to take these bumps, but she don't know where she's going because she's getting jerked and pulled, and it wasn't smooth. And sometimes you don't get what the fuck the other person is trying to do, and or you get kind of frustrated with it and just say, well, fuck, I'm going down somewhere. But there was no purposeful, I'm going to make you look like shit. It is a stinky fucking match. And at the worst, we can say style clash, which I think is what Jim Ross said. And I think Jim Ross has probably seen a few more matches than Eric Stevens, too. I don't know, what Eric is doing these days, but I'm not sure that he's high in demand for training seminars and sessions where he knows everything about wrestling.
Let me ask you this, as a promoter, as a booker, as someone who'd be running the locker room. You can't stop someone who's not working there from tweeting something like this out without taking any sides. Personally, do you have any problem with a Britt Baker or Marina Shafir liking that tweet?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Marina Shafir can like whatever she wants because she was mentioned, right? And people think, okay, well, somebody take it up for her because that way it's not all her fault. But when Britt Baker likes it, I can't even believe I'm saying this now. 40 years ago, it would be some stooge in the locker room said, hey, so-and-so in the heel side just said this about, he did, and they just fucking meet in the parking lot and settle it. But now they're liking shit on Twitter. What Britt Baker has done now is tell Thunder Rosa that she thinks publicly, concurs publicly, that Thunder Rosa was trying to make her opponent look bad instead of it just being a bad match because her opponent wasn't very good. So now, I would think there would be a little subliminal underlying heat between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. And now it's not just Marina Shafir, Schaefer, whichever, who is not really going to mean anything in the overall scheme of the women's roster in AEW, but now it's Britt Baker, the top female star since the start, and Thunder Rosa, one of the best workers and who has, been decorated with a number of things since she's been there. So why would you do that? Don't like it on Twitter. What Britt Baker ought to do, if anybody was still in the wrestling business, if Britt Baker was upset enough about the situation or convinced that Thunder Rosa was in the wrong about the situation, bad enough to say it or agree with it out in public in front of the fans, then unless this is a work and Rosa and Britt are going to be doing a program, then Britt Baker should have gone to Thunder Rosa first and said, hey, what happened? She's my friend and it didn't turn out. And then Thunder Rosa could have told her. And then they could have hashed it out.
I didn't even put two and two together. It's Adam Cole's girlfriend and Roderick Strong's wife.
Oh, shit. Well, there you go. And so, again, this is what guys would have just had a fight about and got over in the old days, but without anybody being embarrassed in front of the fans. But now they like other people's tweets on Twitter knocking this person. Fuck. But no, I'm sorry if whatever Eric Stevens has been doing for the last 10 or 12 years since I've seen him, it hasn't been training wrestling at a high level. And I'm sorry that his friend had a bad match, but it wasn't Thunder Rosa's fault. She was trying to go over for that snap mare. She just didn't know how long it would take to get there.